walk into a room and instantly start scanning faces. Did he just frown? Why did she look at her phone? Did I say something weird? Later that night, you're in bed replaying tiny moments. A short okay in a chat, a neutral emoji, someone not laughing fast enough at your joke. If you spend more time editing yourself in your head than actually living your life, this video is for you. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." Right now, overthinking what other people think is stopping you from actually living. Have you felt that lately? Here's the real problem. Your brain is constantly asking, "Do they like me?" instead of, "Do I like how I showed up?" At work, you hold back in meetings because you're scared your idea will sound stupid. On social media, you post, delete, repost, and then obsess over who saw it but didn't react. You read too much into facial expressions, delays, and typos. A short message from your boss becomes, "I'm in trouble." A friend scene zones you and your brain spins 10 stories in 10 minutes. By the end of this video, you'll have a Stoic way to stop overthinking what other people think. 2 to 3 simple exercises you can use before or after any social situation. And 1 sentence you can repeat when you feel judged, so you come back to your center instead of spiraling. If you stay until the end, you'll also hear a short story of someone just like you who changed the way they show up, without becoming cold or fake. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." What would your life look like if you were even 10% more okay with that? Let's break down the core Stoic idea in very simple language. Idea number 1, the dichotomy of control. Some things are in your control. Some things are not. Your thoughts, your choices, your words, your effort. That's you. Their reactions, their moods, their secret opinions. That's not you. Right now, your mind keeps wandering into their side of the fence. You're trying to manage faces, tones, emojis, and assumptions. No wonder you're tired. Idea number 2, Memento Mori. Remember, you will die. The Stoics use this not to be dark, but to be clear. One day you and every person you're scared of impressing will be gone. That uncomfortable meeting, the awkward silence at lunch, the unread message, all of it disappears. So the real question becomes, in the short time I have, do I want to spend my life chasing their approval or building my character? Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Can you feel how different your life would be if you focused more on how you react than on what they might be thinking? So why do you still get stuck, even when you know all this? First, your brain is wired to fear rejection. Thousands of years ago, if the tribe didn't like you, you could literally die. So a raised eyebrow today feels like danger, even when it isn't. Have you noticed how your heart races over a tiny text, as if a tiger just walked into the room? Second, modern life gives you 1,000 judgment mirrors. Views, likes, comments, who watched your story, who didn't reply, who replied with just K. Every app is basically saying, here's a live scoreboard of your worth. But you and I both know that's a lie. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." How many hours of your life are you living in imagined judgment instead of real experience? Third, old wounds pour fuel on new moments. Maybe you grew up being compared to siblings, criticized for small mistakes, or made fun of at school. So now, when your coworker looks away, it's not just them. It's every old voice coming back at once. And finally, you've been taught to value reputation over character. Be liked, be nice, don't upset anyone. You weren't taught, be honest, be grounded, be brave, even if some people don't clap. Marcus Aurelius noticed this too. He said, "We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." When was the last time you left a room asking, "Do I respect how I acted?" instead of, "Do they approve of me?" Now, let's turn this into tools. Here's a simple Stoic framework with 3 practical steps to stop overthinking what other people think and start living by your own standards. Step 1. The 2-column reality check. Next time your mind starts spinning after a social moment, grab your notes app or a piece of paper. Draw 2 columns, mine and not mine. Under mine, write what you actually did. I asked a question. I shared an idea. I texted to check in. Under not mine, write what you're obsessing over. Did they think I was needy? Did my manager think that idea was stupid? Did they think my joke was cringe? Then ask yourself, am I spending more energy on my column or on theirs? Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." Remember this, you're not a mind reader, you're a mind manager. What would change if you focus that power on your own column first? Step 2. The Memento Mori Zoom-Out, 30-second practice. Here's where Memento Mori becomes practical. When you feel that sting, the awkward silence, the short reply, the weird look, pause. Take 1 slow breath in and think, one day I will die. One day they will too. Then ask, in that reality, does this moment deserve this much power over my peace tonight? You're not saying nothing matters. You're saying, in a short life, some things matter more. Example. You send a message to your manager suggesting a new idea. They reply with, "Seen for hours." Your brain starts writing horror stories. You pause, you breathe, you remember, in 50 years, none of this will exist. Now the question becomes, did I act with honesty and courage? Not. Did they react in a way that keeps my anxiety quiet? Marcus wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Remember this, if you wouldn't care about this on your deathbed, why let it own your whole evening now? Where in your life do you most need that zoom out? Work, dating, family, or social media? Step 3. Rewrite your scorecard with 3 words. Right now, your scorecard sounds like this. Did they like me? Did they smile? Did they praise me? We're going to replace that with 3 words. Scorecard. Think of the kind of person you want to be in any room. Not perfect, just solid. Maybe your 3 words are honest, kind, grounded, or clear, respectful, brave. Write them down. Before a meeting, a text, a post, ask yourself, how can I live these 3 words in the next 10 minutes? After the situation, instead of, did they approve? Ask, did I live my 3 words? If yes, you've already won, even if someone still judged you. If no, you have something real to work on that's under your control. Musonius Rufus said, if you wish to be good, first believe that you are bad. Not in a self-hating way, in a humble way that says, I'm a work in progress, and my scorecard is my character, not their applause. So, what 3 words would you choose for yourself? Step 4. 5 breaths before you check one more tool, especially for social media and texts. Before you open a message that scares you, before you check who watched your story, before you stalk someone's reaction, Stop. Close your eyes and take 5 slow breaths. With each breath, repeat in your mind. Their opinion is weather, 100%. My character is the mountain. Weather changes every hour. Mountains stay. Example, you're about to open an email from your boss after sending a risky idea. Instead of rushing in with a racing heart, you pause. You breathe. You tell yourself, no matter what this says, I can still choose to act with clarity and self-respect. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." Remember this. You're not free when they like you. You're free when you can stay grounded whether they like you or not. Ask yourself, do I want to open this message as a storm or as a mountain? Now, let's see how this looks in a real story. Imagine someone like you. Let's call him Jay. Jay is 28, works in a tech company, and is secretly exhausted from overthinking what people think. In Monday's meeting, he shares an idea. His manager looks down at their laptop, someone else frowns for half a second, and no one says much. Instantly, Jay's mind fires up. That was dumb. They're bored. I talked too long. I shouldn't have said anything. All afternoon, he keeps checking Slack, waiting for some kind of reaction. Nothing. Just a few short, practical messages. Old Jay would go home, replay every sentence, and convince himself his career is over. But this time, he decides to try something different. On the train, he pulls out his phone and does Step 1. The 2-column reality check. Under mine, he writes, I prepared. I spoke clearly. I tried to help the project. Under not mine, he writes, what my manager was thinking, why my coworker frowned, whether they were secretly judging me. Just seeing it written down makes him realize how much energy he's spending on the second column. He asks himself, what if I just cleaned up my side and let theirs be theirs? Then he tries. Step 2. Memento Mori Zoom-Out. He looks around at strangers on the train and thinks, one day, every single person here, including me, will be gone. In that reality, does one quiet meeting need to ruin my week? The answer is obvious. At home, before doom scrolling, he remembers Step 3, 3-word scorecard. Last night, he wrote his 3 words, curious, clear, courageous. He asks, was I curious? Yes, he asked questions. Was I clear? Mostly, yes. Was I courageous? Definitely, he spoke even while scared. By his new Stoic scorecard. Except, he actually did well, even without applause. Finally, he feels the urge to check Slack one more time. Before he opens it, he closes his eyes and practices. Step 4, 5 breaths. Breathing in and out, silently repeating, their opinion is weather, 100%. My character is the mountain. When he opens Slack, there's a message. Hey Jay, let's talk more about your idea tomorrow. Could be something here. Here's the key. Even if that message wasn't there, the new Jay would still be okay. Because his peace is no longer chained to how fast someone else validates him. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. We could flip that for you. The best freedom is not to be like your anxiety. Slow, grounded, focused on what's yours to control. Where do you see yourself in Jay's story? The meeting, the train, the Slack check? Let's land this. There are 3 big takeaways I want you to walk away with. 1. Your job is your character, not their opinion. Separate mine from not mine. Put your energy into what you can actually improve. 2. Memento Mori is not about death, it's about priority. Remembering that you will die helps you see which moments deserve your worry and which don't. 3. Rewrite your scorecard. Live by 3 words you choose, not by a scoreboard the internet gives you. Seneca said, "Life is long if you know how to use it." Spending it replaying imaginary criticism is not how you use it. So here's my question for you, and I'd love to see this in the comments. What is one situation in your life where you're finally ready to stop overthinking what other people think and start living by your own standards instead? If this helped you feel a little calmer, a little more like the mountain and less like the weather, hit subscribe, share this with someone who lives in their head too much, and remember, you don't control their thoughts. You control your choices. Memento Mori, and live in a way that you respect.